Of the third quarter. And now the third quarter about to get going.
What a game for Garnett. 9 points, and he's also got one block to add to the mix today.
Yeah, and that's just a small part of what we've seen, but it's been a solid contribution defensively.
Minnesota leading by 7, and the foul called on Russell Westbrook. That'll be his second foul of the game. Russell Westbrook out there with Paul George. Then it's Anthony. And then there's Steven Adams. And it's Davis at the 4 spot. That's the lineup in the game.
Such a strong finisher on the fast break.
And Greg, I love the fact he's always in control. Even though he's going at breakneck speed, he still maintains his body control.
And the highlight reel replay brought to you by Kia. Good stuff on that Kia Slam Cam.
3 consecutive baskets have come right at the rim. Defense had better start buckling down and tightening up.
Guys, they are getting exposed in terms of their low post defense.
He's played an important role in their offense today, guys. Without him, they may not be in the lead.
Outside for George. He dishes it to Westbrook. Misses the 3. Second half just getting started. About a minute played. Here's Hoiberg. Garnett with a screen on Westbrook. Cassell kicks to Garnett. And Davis sends it back.
It has not been an ideal start to the second half. They've missed 3 of their first 4.
Easy to see who's going to win that race.
Yeah, early offense is often easy offense. Excellent work that time.
Trent gets the bucket.
That's the kind of aggressive and assertive play they need as we get closer and closer to crunch time.
You're right, Clark. Just continue to pound it in the paint and get those easy points inside. And guys, this game won't be close for long if they keep giving up dunks like that.
No, it won't, G.A. You're right. A glaring error defensively and letting them get all the way to the basket that time.
But it's only 2 points. I mean, it was flashy, no doubt, but still, it only counts for 2. 2 is all.
For Minnesota, they have hit most of their free throws tonight, 5 of 6. Minnesota making a switch here. He's perfect from the line this time. The Minnesota Timberwolves come into this one following a loss to Boston. Intercepted. Here's Serbiak. The shot's good. Cassell making the play. He's got 5.
His ball distribution tonight just as good as it gets.
Yeah, it sure has been. I mean, all you have to do is look at the numbers. There's no lying in those totals.
Here's Adams, snatched away. Pass to Serbiak. It's hauled in by George. Thunder trailing by 7.
Not sure if they're aware of the 2-for-1 opportunity.
Well, they ought to be. I mean, that basic basketball time management. You've got to be aware of your clock and your situation.
Davis, the pass to Carmelo. Just 5 to shoot. And here's Westbrook from the arc. And that one's good. Westbrook's got 7 points in the game. A little over 2.5 minutes off the clock in this final half of play. Westbrook against Cassell. Four seconds left. Can't get it to go. Now a timeout called by Oklahoma City. Here's George. And the release was before the buzzer, but it's off target. And we've watched 3 so far in this one. Timberwolves lead by 4. And after a quick break, we're going to come right back with the start of the fourth quarter. All right, And we welcome you back to what's been a hard-fought battle. Fourth quarter should be good. Thunder trailing by 4. And a look at the 5 for the Timberwolves to start the fourth. Garnett out there with Johnson. And it's Hoiberg in at the point guard. Anthony dishes to Adams. Back to Anthony. Pass to George. 6 to shoot. Offline with his 3.
That's excellent defense right there on the perimeter.
Hoiberg passes to Johnson. Here's Serbiak. Off target with his 3. And it's Oklahoma City's ball. And Westbrook, here we go. That one falls coming off Anthony's feet. Anthony's got 3 assists now in this one.
Key buckets, and we know he delivers down the stretch.
The pass to Hassel. And here is Serbiak. Pass to Hoiberg. Garnett left side. And right on target. Good. And the Timberwolves lead by 4.
I love that plan. Set up the opportunity for the mismatch.
Yeah, knowing they have to get a bucket here and exploiting the height advantage where they can find it, and that's a no-brainer to me.
And it's going to be a 3-second call. Minnesota calls timeout. They're up by 4. 1:51 left to play in the final quarter. And let's get this update now from Doris Burke, who's across the way on the sideline.
Thank you, Kevin. Well, I was able to listen in on the Timberwolves head coach talking to his team. He said, we are this close to finishing them off, but the job is not done yet, and I don't want to see any let-up out there. We'll see how well his point got across, guys.
Thanks again, Doris.
Surprisingly, he hasn't really been a big part of their offense. I don't think he ever got into a rhythm.
Anthony with the bucket.
Loose D here. Critical stretch. I mean, you're better off sending him to the free throw lines than to have him get that good a look. You know, I think he just wants to tinker with the game plan a little bit, and I think that's a wise timeout.
And part of it, too, Greg, was he saw some things going on out there that he didn't care for.
And the Timberwolves call time here. They're in front by 2. There's 1:34 left here in the fourth quarter. Gasol is checked in for Minnesota. Here's Cassell. And we've made our way through just over 1.5 minutes in this fourth quarter. The Timberwolves working the ball around now. Sprewell, that's good.
Most any NBA player can make you pay when you leave them that wide open. That's why you have to stay alert on defense.
Kicks to Westbrook. They set the pick. Anthony on the wing. Clock at 6. And he can't answer back. The three-pointer offline. Inside, here's Hoiberg, and it's sent back by George. Near the three-point line, it's Westbrook. It's hauled in by Trent.
Not sure what the D was doing there. Clearly a breakdown. You can ill afford to give a guy like him that good a look.
Here's Garnett. Falls, great assist by Sam Cassell. Now it's a 7-point Timberwolves lead.
And really, with every point from this point on, it seems like they're just closer to finishing this one off.
If they haven't already done it. I mean, hey, it's been a tremendous all-around performance from this group. I don't think there's any question about that.
And now we've got the intentional foul. 2 points here might be all the cushion they need.
You would think so. This game is theirs for the taking.
First free throw is good, and that puts them up by 5. So he goes 2 for 2 at the line, and it's a 6-point ball game.
Those foul shots put them that much more in the driver's seat.
Outside Anthony. We've got 13 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one.
It would have been something to see if he could hit that shot from that deep.
Greg, you know it. I know it. There aren't very many guys that can hit from out there. But he is one of them. That's the kind of range he has.
And so both free throws are good. And it's an 8-point game. Now a timeout called by Oklahoma City. They're losing by 8. 8 seconds left in the fourth. Guys, what do you think?
You know, I think he's just trying to send his team a message, you know, not willing to give up on this game just yet. Just trying to instill that fight in this group.
Yeah, hey.
Look what happened when the game got sloppy. Introducing the Lone Ranger, Akeem Mosabi. The horses are big, the 10-gallon tracks. The hood cowboys with the 10-gallon raps. Racking ACG boots and baseball caps. I agree, this ain't a simulation of the doo-doo. This is the shot said.
The 2K Sports pregame show.
That's right, it's here, the official start of the new NBA season. I'm Ernie Johnson, excited to be here once again with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith for another go-around. Tonight, it'll be the San Antonio Spurs up against the Thunder out in Oklahoma City. And for Oklahoma City, their first time playing these guys this season. A year ago, going 1-2. They'd like to improve on that this go-around. Well, last season was pretty much a lost cause with all the injuries that the Thunder went through. When this team is healthy, however, Kenny, do you feel they should be a top contender in the West?
Oh, when they're healthy, they're one of the best. I mean, the Thunder, with their roster complete, when it's complete and they're healthy, they can contend with anyone. I think they're dominant when their core guys are there. If one or two guys are missing, they play such a vital role that it's difficult for them to sustain any kind of success.
And injuries will be a factor for this team, as it is with every team. But, you know, they've made it to the conference finals over and over and over again. So hopefully they can stay healthy.
And that does it for us. Thanks for joining us, and we will see you a bit later.
Good afternoon, everyone. We're about to get started with some Saturday NBA action brought to you by 2K Sports. Kevin Harlan here along with Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. We've got a Western Conference battle ready to get rolling, and this Oklahoma City crowd wants some love from their Thunder. They're getting their first look of the season at San Antonio in this one. Last season, they couldn't get the edge in the matchup as they went 1-2 in the season series.
And they lost the season series against this squad last year, so trying to bounce back here tonight.
Yeah, and two mid-tier teams trying to get a leg up in the conference, guys. We'll see what happens.
Now a chance, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. The starting five on the floor. On the floor for San Antonio, Parker and Green are the guard pairing. Pau Gasol is out there with LaMarcus Aldridge, and it's Leonard in at the 3 spot. Now here's Adams, down to 5 on the shot clock. Morrow dishes to George. Oklahoma City needs to get off a shot. A three-pointer off the mark. It's incredible to think that Pau Gasol last year set a career high in points in a game for as long Clark as he's played. He had that 46-point game in January.
Yeah, that's 46 points for Pau to go with 18 rebounds. I mean,
right. You
rarely see a player of his age putting up a career high like that.
The drive by Green. The second chance effort, and there's the nice layup by Gasol. Gasol's got his second bucket of the night.
Defensively, that possession better not start a trend because they just handed him 2 points.
And stolen by Aldridge. And it's Leonard. That time on the assist by Green.
And a nice 1-2 punch there, guys. Great defensive play and great basket in transition.
Aggressive play, attacking basketball, on the attack, full throttle. I love it.
Parker with it. Westbrook picks him up. And the wide open shot from Green. Again, the miss by Green. It's been a slow start here for Oklahoma City. Still without a basket in the game, coming off that loss against the Timberwolves.
And despite the outcome, I think they'll feel a little better about that game. There are a lot of positives that they can take away from that performance.
And I think that's exactly what they have to do, guys. Don't dwell on the final score. You know, think about the things you did well and move forward and take it from there.
And there's the call on Anthony Morrow. That's his first foul. So San Antonio going with an almost entirely new group here. Lee's checked in for Gasol. He comes in for Leonard. Otto Ginobili's checked in for Green. And it's Mills in for Tony Parker.
Out of bounds. Thunderball.
There's 49 seconds left to play here in the first. Took him no time at all on that one. Westbrook's got himself on the board with 3 there.
They really can't allow him too many open looks like that. I mean, that's just inviting trouble.
And Mills kicks to Aldridge. Gay with no one around. And a great assist by Aldridge as that one goes in.
Excellent ball movement there, guys.
And that's keyed this run. Passing it with purpose. The D hasn't been able to keep up.
And that one's good. Westbrook.
And a really good way to start the game. He's a guy who, if he gets it going early, he's going to give you problems.
And here in the first, approaching 3 minutes played. It's Gay on the way. And again, it's the Spurs from deep.
They've got themselves in front with some outstanding shooting right off the bat.
It's been a complete technical dominant performance out here. They are in a zone.
And again, it's Russell Westbrook. Westbrook's got 7.
I tell you what, it's almost like stealing to watch how he plays the game from this seat.
And here's Mills for 3. It's hauled in by Adams. And George, here we go. Got a piece of it. It's out of bounds. They are saying it was last touch by Lee.
Risky pass in a situation like that. Very lucky that wasn't a steal.
Fortunate to get it through. I thought he was headed the other way with that one.
The shot by George, wide open. And we reached the end of the first quarter. Spurs lead by 7. And the second quarter will be on the way when we come back. Before the game, Carmelo Anthony talked about how he prepares himself mentally to carry this team.
It's easy. It's basketball. It's out there having fun. It's out there working together. You know, the biggest thing is the defensive end.
Well, you don't hear too many players, Greg, saying it's easy and they're not too concerned.
Yeah, or talking about possibly winning basketball games. But I have a feeling he's more concerned than he talks about and when he says it's easy. It may be for him, but it sure didn't look easy for the Knicks last season.
All right, the second quarter beginning in just a moment. And guys, what's your take on the Spurs so far?
I just don't know that you're going to see a better quarter defensively than what we saw in the first.
Really a big part of why they're on top here. The defense has been on point.
On the court for San Antonio here in the second. Manu and Kawhi filling out the perimeter. Anderson is out there with Pau Gasol. And it's Mills in at the 1 spot. San Antonio leading by 5. Well, you look at the roster of the Thunder from last year, Clark, they knew how to build from within.
Well, last season's roster, everybody but one player was either drafted or acquired via trade. That's a rare combo in the NBA.
And that one's good, George.
And when the size advantage is as big as it was there, I mean, that's exactly what he's supposed to do in that situation.
And Mills kicks to Anderson. Leonard with no one around. Knocks down the 3 ball. Leonard's got 8 points.
And guys, for the Thunder, listen, they're not a big market team. They've had to make sacrifices with money to stay competitive. They do a terrific job with the limitations that small market presents. Yeah, great look, but disappointing with a miss.
Boy, what happened on that one, Greg? I mean, that's almost an automatic shot for him.
Now, here is George. 1:30 left in the first half of the game. Just 5 on the clock. From the low block, Anderson with the block, and he's able to get it back. All right, well, a look at how the points have been generated so far. A scoring breakdown for the Spurs.
Boy, the three-point shot has really been dropping for him early on.
And the other thing, though, is their execution in terms of their ball movement has been flawless. Sets up a lot of easy scoring opportunities.
The Spurs making a switch here. LaMarcus Aldridge, he's checked in for Gasol. Gay comes in for Kyle Anderson. Green, he's checked in for Manu Ginobili. And Parker subbed in for Patty Mills. Here's Westbrook. Kawhi Leonard making his last shot. And he gets it to go. George has got 4 points in the quarter.
And, you know, as we've seen, success in the NBA can come in a lot of different packages. I mean, it can't happen without the big free agent signing or spending. It helps to draft a guy like Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook, for that matter.
And here's Westbrook. Kawhi Leonard getting his 3 to go. Adams. And down it goes, jamming that one home.
And if that doesn't get them fired up, guys, nothing will.
Greg, just what the doctor ordered, huh? Some high-flying antics to narrow the deficit.
Tell you what, fellas, that could give them the energy boost they've been looking for.
Yeah, how about the purpose with which he's crashing the backboards right now? Some hard-earned second chance points.
Westbrook passes to Adams, and it's sent back by Aldridge. 5 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Parker kicks to Green. Dishes to Aldridge. Gay against George. Fires from 14. And good as it rattles through the hoop. Gay's got the lead up to 9 now for the Spurs. Some solid defense from Aldridge. And that concludes the first half. It's the Spurs up by 9. And time now to go courtside as we send you over to Doris Burke from the sideline. Doris?
Well, Pow, tell us what have been the key aspects to how this team is playing so far through the first 2 quarters.
I just had to be aggressive from the beginning, take the shots that were there, move the ball, we're being unselfish. We were defending better in the first quarter, and we were able to knock down the shots.
Pow, thank you for the time. Gentlemen, over to you.
Thank you, Doris, for that interview, and we'll see you back here after the break for the third quarter of basketball.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Ernie Johnson here again with Kenny Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. We welcome you back to the 2K Sports Halftime Show. Kawhi Leonard is having one of those nights. He had 13 points and 2 rebounds. Coming in off a tough game last time out for him, he's clearly turned the page, and it's bouncing back tonight in a big... And now, folks, it's just about time for the third quarter.
And the second half about to start here in just a few moments. Kawhi Leonard really has his fingerprints all over this one.
And he just went off in those first 2 quarters, guys. He's capable of doing that on a consistent basis as well. So we might see some changes from a defensive standpoint as they try to disrupt his rhythm in the second half.
You know, guys, I think you've got to make some sort of change. I mean, they can't let him continue to torch him up like he has been.
They've got Paul George, Anthony Morrow out there with Russell Westbrook. Then it's Anthony, and it's Adams in at the 5. That's Billy Donovan's 5 as we get going here in the second half. And for LaMarcus Aldridge, always praised for his terrific shooting, his rebounding. As we know, Greg, has always been fantastic. Over the past 2 seasons, he's averaged double-digit boards.
And that's why so many teams wanted him in this last free agency period. His ability to put points on the board as well as clean the boards. What a deadly combination.
Leonard, no luck. Thunder trailing by 12. It's Westbrook with the drive. Goes up high for the 2-handed dunk.
And you can tell he's hungry because that's how you eat away at a lead right there. Make some highlight reel plays and shake that defense up.
Well, Greg, you're right. Not all 2 points are the same. Not when they come on a stuff like that one.
Well, I like the craftiness in his game. I mean, he can distribute or he can attack the basket, just like we saw right there.
So San Antonio going with an almost entirely new group here. David Lee checked in for Aldridge. Kyle Anderson comes in for Leonard. Manu Ginobili, he's checked in for Green. And it's Mills in for Tony Parker. Now, here's George. Gasol with the steal. They're running. Here's Anderson. And Westbrook pulls it down.
You know, on the topic of Aldridge's rebounding, I mean, he doesn't do it by banging people around. He does it with positioning, timing, and length. And you can say that about most of his game. Quietly, effective, and impactful.
Here's Morrow. And Gasol sends it back.